Waydroid Helper is an exciting prototype app designed to manage Waydroid containers effortlessly on Ubuntu Touch. While it's still a work in progress, our team is dedicated to refining its functionality. Imagine seamlessly running Android apps alongside your favorite Linux tools. In this video, you'll see code snippets that reveal the backend magic, a sneak peek at the sleek Android UI, and a walkthrough of its features. We'll guide you through how to use the app effectively, but remember, it's still in prototype mode. We're planning some fantastic enhancements, so stay tuned and give Waydroid Helper a try.
Good day. As you can see, our application that we have developed, or that we call Waydroid Helper. So this is the structure. As you can see, that it consists of the backend, and then inside we have the script, and then under script we have backend.py, and then there's also the database, and then we call it schema.sql and some docs, and then the front end, which consists of some resources, and then under resources we have helper.qml, of course, and then we have the license of our application just for copyright, and then we have the readme file. This is just like giving the application overview and everything, the installation, contributors, usage, and acknowledgement. Right, so I'm going to take you through the code running behind the application, but firstly I would like to give apologies for this application is just designed to run on 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 Ubuntu, but right now we just made it to run on Windows because our devices are not compatible with all the applications or the softwares that we're supposed to install for the application to run. So please, we apologize and for the inconvenience. So I'm taking you through as follow. So basically the Waydroid helper.qml. So this is the user interface now, how it looks like the background color and everything, how the application should look like. So firstly we have imported the libraries. So these, and they enable the use of the essential QML elements such as UI components, layouts, and then controls. Right, so as you can see here, it was supposed to be Ubuntu, but it says Windows, so it's for Windows. So here it defines like the main application window, so with like the visibility, whether it's true, to ensure it appears on the startup. As you can see, the title. Okay, even the theme configuration. So basically you can see the Android style theme, you can see here, right? So we define the color for the window background, text, and then the buttons, right? The layout, which is now the main layout, right? So column layout, anchor fill, parents, and the okay. So basically what it does, just like column layout, arrange it uses column layout to arrange the UI elements vertically, and then anchors fill parents just to ensure it occupies the full screen width, right? Okay, the container control section, here we are here. So what it does, this section provide buttons like to start, stop, and freeze the Waydroid container, right? The group box is just used to group related UI elements, and the layout make it expand fully, right? Also, we have status label, so it's just to display the current container status, and um, diminic dynamically with color indicator. Okay, we have some buttons to update to yeah. So we have the app visibility. The app visibility, right? And then also the automation, right? And then so like the app visibility, just to display in installed Waydroid apps, and then it uses switch elements to toggle visibility, and then the automation settings now just provide buttons for backup Waydroid data, and then the back end controller, so it handles all sections to trigger handles all actions triggered by the user interface. It defines like functions to start, stop, monitor the Waydroid. So example of this function, like you can see function start container, and then console.log starting container start label text running, and then update the resource usage. So basically what it just logs and then update the user interface when Waydroid starts, and then it calls for the update resources usage, right? This calls that um, to refresh the CPU, the RAM, or the storage usage, right? And then so on, right? And then we move to the schema SQL. So this is the database now. So we have a table called user preference. User preference. So it stores the key value pairs for the settings, right? And then we have Android app table. Waydroid app table. So what it does is store the app details and then last used timestamp. And then we have also resources logs. So resources logs table, it logs the CPU, RAM, and then the storage usage over time. And then we have container log table, right? So what it does, it tracks container operations like to start, stop, and freeze. And then yes, and then everything will be like, we can be inserted into the default preference table, this table, and user preference. Okay, and then we move now to the backbone of the Waydroid application now, which is now the backend.py. So the overview firstly, okay, this Python, okay, Waydroid Helper, just a command line utility designed to manage Waydroid, right? An Android container for Linux, though we are using Windows. It includes just like some functionality, like, okay, as you can see now, like the database integration, logging, system monitoring, and managing Waydroid. Okay, so as we always we import libraries, and then you can see these libraries that we have imported. We have like OS, we have SYS that provides system provides system related operations, and also the time used for delays and time based operations, also the logging, which is now handles logging or scripts activity, and Psutil used to monitor the system resources, which is now the CPU and memory. Subprocess, which execute Waydroid commands, and then also the argpress, so it passes command lines and arguments. Also the date time handles timestamp. Yes. Okay, and then now the configuration or the configuration, yeah, the configuration for the login. So basically the logging basic config level log info. So what it does, it logs in events into Waydroid helper.logs here this. So it logs everything here. So we were getting what we were running the application. Yeah. So it logs here now, like the event, and then the log format includes now the a timestamp, log level, and everything. You can see when we're logging everything, um see when it was giving the error, you can see this is the timestamp, right? The error info, you see, even connecting the database. So partially it was working, so this is what is happening, right? Okay, and we move to the database initialization. As you can see, the configuration, the driver, and then the local. So this is the server name and database, and then trusted connection. Yes, you go. All right, and then we move to the logging of the database. So it started like a dev initial. So it's here, this is just the initialization of the database handler. So enable database connection, right? And then it's checking if the Waydroid is running, right? So initialize settings, and yeah, so basically he just like checking the connection. This is just the database connection and everything, the app visibility, and the cursor when you're moving it, and yes. All right, and Waydroid container, like starting the Waydroid. So basically just checking like the um the Waydroid if it's running. If not, then it will start using Waydroid container start, and then log success or failure on the log file or end the system. Stopping the Waydroid, so you just stop using Waydroid container stop, and then log success or failure again to the database. You restart when you are restarting again, so the container, so it stop Waydroid and then waits 2 seconds before restarting it again. So yes, and checking the system resources. Now we use that library Psutil, like to get the CPU and then the memory usage, and then logs the resources usage also, displaying also the logs, right? um Displaying the log. So you see it's even like when you're getting the CPU and the RAM usage from the process, so it also calculate like the CPU, as you can see what it's trying to do here, and then also the RAM, and then calculate the storage, and then log resources usage and everything. Displaying the log, so here you just like displaying the logs, and yes, and then now store visibility settings in database. So it will insert those things now into the database table. Updates not display property into a desktop file. So yeah, this is what's happening. And then creating the backup directory. If it doesn't exist, then it creates stamped backup directory, and then stop container if it's running and backing Waydroid data, backup the scope file. So it should, as a system, it should have a backup if it fails. So there should be something also to pull up when the system is off, or yes. And yes, and also now the argument passing. Now this argument passing, so basically just checking define the command line options, starting Waydroid, also stopping the Waydroid. the Waydroid and starting the Waydroid, checking if the Waydroid is running, even the resources, checking the CPU and the memory usage, and then the logs. And then finally has to run like if a name Waydroid main, then this just uses the script runs only when executed directly. Yes, so this that so with that we came to the end of our presentation, and unfortunately, as I have stated, this application is just designed to run on Ubuntu. We wish we had enough time to fix the errors that we are getting to run it on Windows, since we are getting some problems with um the storage of our devices that we are using to um, code this application. It's not a fully functional application, but still we are not ending here. We'll continue until we make it until everything is running on the features, the upcoming features, and we're looking forward to get feedbacks from you. And thank you first for arranging this hackathon and making it possible for us to learn new insights and this programming language like Python that it is now mostly used. So we really thank you for the chance that you gave us, and yes, cheers.
Waydroid Helper is an innovative prototype application that simplifies managing Waydroid containers on Ubuntu Touch. With just a few clicks, you can effortlessly launch, stop, or configure your containers. Check out this Python code snippet that powers the backend. It's clean and efficient. The user interface is designed for seamless navigation, making it easy for anyone to get started. Plus, you'll love the features we've packed in, like container monitoring and resource management. Remember, this is a prototype, so your feedback is crucial as we refine it. Stay tuned for more updates.